Okay, we are live Monday, and it's a bit of Christmas theme today. Bidan and Billy talking about when is the right time to sell before Christmas, getting the best result. Stay tuned, and we will have a good chat.
There's a lot to cover tonight. We're going to break it down.
Definitely. All right, here we are, Billy. How
Good
you doing?
evening. Good. We're not under the mistletoe,
No.
FYI. We are.
Just a random Christmas.
We are in the Christmas theme though,
Yeah.
and a lot of buyers, are sellers, and solicitors, brokers. Everyone's talking about the Christmas deadline.
Yeah, everyone's aware, and everyone's already starting to plan and panic at the same time.
Yeah,
They're
I love
buying,
that.
Yeah, because they have to time things with settlement, getting the property ready. Can I make it before Christmas?
Yeah, and I guess, is it more preparation or is it more panic?
I think panic.
You reckon?
People are wanting to, because they have like a little deadline.
Yeah.
Because standard settlement being 6 weeks, they kind of count backwards. 24th, I think, December is probably the last day any solicitor would be around.
Yeah.
And they're trying to reverse that and see, okay, by when do I have to buy, or by when do I have to sell to settle before Christmas?
Yeah, for the sellers, I guess settlement is out of their control. So a lot of people are factoring in that it's either going to be like a 4 weeks, a 6 week is still possible, probably for another 9 days, 10 days, or 8 weeks, 12 weeks. That's somewhat out of their control. Like settlement's got to happen, it's just when. But for buyers, I'm finding pre-approvals are out of their control.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, if they have to have a little bit of stretch, it's getting a bit tricky there. Yeah.
And so they're like, a lot of people are making decisions about buying either whilst they've got their pre-approval in place, or waiting for the new year, because there's going to be a window where their broker and bank, more importantly, won't be reassessing the pre-approval. So that's, in the back of people's mind, and that's driving people's decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm spending the money now, or I'm waiting and I'll be reassessed, and that could bring loads of different changes. It could bring new family into the new year. It could bring different jobs into the new year. It could bring different expenses. Obviously, people are coming off the back of that holiday spending as well. If you're self-employed and you're going away for Christmas, your income's not going to look the same. So there's lots of things that are happening in the background.
Exactly. So I think every business owner I talk to and all the past work I've done, Jan and Feb are the quietest time.
Yeah.
So everyone's conscious, because as Billy mentioned, they're just out of that holiday period where they open-heartedly spend everything. And they're very conscious of spending the money. So it might bring down a few things. Is that the best time to sell or buy? What would you prefer? But the timing is very crucial right now with the tricky holiday period. We'll be here, like us as real estate agents. We are definitely here throughout the period. But solicitors and your brokers are something that you can't quite get a hold of very instantly in those periods, I believe.
Yeah, I guess from like a finance perspective and the paperwork and contract law perspective, you can't make these transactions happen without. So we'll give you a bit of advice this evening from a buyer's perspective, and then a seller. Maybe start with the buying side.
Buying side, of course. I think with buying, you do have more control. If your finances are strong, you can settle in 4 weeks. And if you know someone in the bank, you can settle it much earlier as well. But I think in buying perspective, you want to plan things. Do you want to settle before Christmas and move in the Christmas period? Because sometimes that's tricky as well. There's 24th of December where the solicitor will be there. But let's say you settle on 24th, then you'll have to get moving and things going throughout the Christmas period. First thing, it might be hard to find cleaners, removals in that period. So you might want to plan a bit beforehand, and with the pre-approval as well. You don't want to overlap it. All those things. So there are lots of things in place. And if you want to put long settlement as well, then you might have to balance that with an offer.
Yeah, for sure.
So the earliest after 24th of December might be 19th of Jan when the solicitors are back. So it's either 6-week settlement or 12-week settlement. So there's nothing in between, unfortunately. So,
I reckon if I was a buyer at the moment, I'd be buying now. unless I was purely window shopping
Yeah.
until late January, early February. And the reason for that is there's more properties on the market now than there has been all year. We're sitting just below 1,000 properties on realestate.com for the whole of the beaches. It's about 40% up from its record low. So it's a massive difference. There's a lot more choice out there. And I like the fact that there is one common denominator in the whole market. There's only one as well, because everything else is a bit all over the place. But people's timelines are consistent. People's intentions are, making something happen for Christmas or setting up for New Year. So that's one good news. And as a buyer, like having choice, don't take that for granted because there will only be 2 more weeks of new stock coming to market. And then there'll be properties selling, there'll be properties withdrawing from market, resting over New Year, and then there'll be properties simply waiting for the New Year. So you can pretty much expect, I reckon, as a buyer to see that half.
Yeah, that's very well put. Because now I think you have the highest amount of properties and more choices. So we can see properties are selling quickly, but they are not going that over the market value. They are going at the market price. So as a buyer, I think this is the best time that you can enter the market because you are not paying that over the price. It used to happen in COVID times. And as soon as the Christmas period starts and Jan-Feb hits, you might have very low stock. And low stock, more buyers will definitely mean you'll be competing with a lot more buyers and start paying higher prices.
Yeah, and we haven't even, it's a whole different topic, but if interest rates come down next year as well, that's going to be more competition.
Lots of competition,
So I reckon if I was a buyer, I'd be, buying now whilst the access to stock is good, and I'd be negotiating to set yourself up for either a, move before Christmas, which is still really possible. Like 6 weeks based on a settlement today puts you the week before Christmas. And if, as you said, you can either shoot for a longer settlement,
which is next year, but it would be good as well. You never know. You can buy a property now, have everything sorted, settling on Feb or Jan, and ease into the Christmas and holiday, saying you just bought a property, and you can enjoy that whole time. Because as Mark mentioned, the buyer's emotion would never go away. Because if you don't buy now, the whole moment you'll be looking at realestate.com, oh, what can I buy next? Because you have a lot of free time. You're just home, not working. So you'll be all, okay, I should buy this, we should buy this. The pre-approval is not there, it will overlap. So all of those things could come in there as well.
What would you do if you're a seller then?
As a seller, you sell now, straight away.
Would you be coming to market over the next 2 weeks if you want to sell before Christmas, or would you wait for the new year? Like, not so much talking about settlement, but trying to put a sale together.
Trying to put a sale together. It does get a bit tricky right now moving closer to Christmas because as a seller, I personally don't have control over settlement. So I could say, okay, I would like this 6 weeks or 12 weeks, but buyers are buyers. There are multiple buyers. And at the end of the day, you always have to listen to them. So personally, if I was a seller, if I haven't have appointed a agent already, I personally would wait until next year.
I'm going against the grain. I'm saying make use of the time you've got because you've still got 5 weeks of really good selling time, and that means there's going to be deals put together over the next 5 weeks for all the properties that are on the market. And I reckon if you're a new property coming to market, you've still got that shiny new feel and look. Whereas if you're waiting for the new year and February, everyone's going to have that same shiny look. So it won't maybe be quite dazzling.
Totally agree with that as well.
And another tip for the sellers, like if you find a buyer and you're ready to accept the offer, but your solicitor's not around, do a 10-day cool off.
That's always good.
So it's like 2 weeks of locking in your buyer with a 0.25% deposit. It's mutually beneficial, but at least you give some certainty, to both parties that there's a transaction happening.
Definitely, that's a very good point as well, because it's hard to align things in that holiday period, and I think 10-day call off is a very good point. It's literally holding the property, and then you'll be definitely all good throughout that period.
And we see that happen basically from like the couple of days before Christmas, and it takes you all the way through that early New Year window where the solicitors might not be fully up and running and the banks might be on skeleton staff. So at least there's progress being made.
Exactly. And also one more good thing might be if you list now, like probably the next 2 weeks, throughout the Christmas period, as I mentioned, everyone's home.
Yeah.
And they might be just walking around for an evening stroll or a morning ones, and they might see open home sign and say, oh, they're open, let's just quickly walk in. And they are the passive buyers and they are the strongest buyer. They'll just walk in and say, okay, we like this.
If they've got the funds and they've got the energy ready to go, I'm sure there'll be people up making things happen. Last year there was an exchange done from the fish and chip shop at Freshwater for a 2-bedroom apartment in D1.
Interesting.
Very interesting. New Year's Eve. 24th, Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
24th.
That's interesting. Yeah. See, things do happen.
Things do happen.
The holiday miracle.
Yeah, a little bit like that. But I reckon great time of year to be doing something.
Yeah, definitely. Likewise. Like, you never know what might happen. So, but the thing is, unless you do it, you never know.
Yep.
Unless you do it, you never know. And sometimes people think, oh, if they listed now, they might think, oh, we should have waited. And they might go vice versa as well. So at the end of the day, if you're gonna sell, it's gonna sell, and the market's gonna pay the price.
Yeah.
And next year, if everyone's waiting for that early Feb, you might see a lot of stock coming in the Feb to mid Feb as well, because everyone will wait, saying, "Oh, one last Christmas at our home, and then we'll sell it." Because they're attached. It's emotion.
Bit of emotion there. Yeah. There tends to be a consistent bit of a wave, and it's like peak of the market with stock, then it's Christmas down the bottom, and then it rapidly picks back up. And I think if you're on the market whilst people are there to buy, and there's stock being sold and not being replenished, or there's stock being rested, and you're the property that's open and ready to go, then you're really looking great.
Exactly. And I think Jan, Feb, people are more just easing out of that holiday period.
Yeah.
So they might not be that actively, very snappy with your properties and, moving things very quickly. Same with the solicitors. They might be just easing into work.
What are you seeing with commercial?
Commercial, like, weirdly, I've seen it slightly, it's getting quieter.
Is it?
It is getting quieter. The shops are getting leased. There are new businesses. They are just getting in as well.
Yeah.
We're selling warehouses left and right. Like, people are definitely buying. But at the same time, they are conscious as well. What do I do? When do I need to settle by? Like the same as resident.
Yep.
But there are a few things like we sell off the plans as well. Those are it just happens.
Yep.
People are not more conscious about that. But yeah, I think businesses are still leasing out shops for themselves or storage units per se. So yeah, definitely going. But it is fairly quieter than it used to be.
There you go.
Yeah.
And is the weather making a difference? Being summer, everyone's feeling good, spending.
Definitely.
Is that making a difference?
With commercial, I don't think it matters much.
No.
With residential, I think it goes a long way.
Okay.
Yeah, with commercial, it's just numbers or people thinking, well, my business do better in this location.
Sure.
So pretty much it's all about numbers and facts. Resi is, I think, more emotional. If they walk in, they love the property, they will justify with facts later.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I love this, I have to have it. So I think that's pretty much all from my end.
That's the show, I reckon.
Yeah.
But hopefully that helps someone this evening. If you're going through this decision making, I had a client call out this afternoon just for a 30-minute chat. They're looking at doing things like paint, carpet, and a bit of styling, bit of decluttering, and they're thinking, do I do that now or later? Yeah. Those sort of conversations, I reckon it's helpful just to have it sooner rather than later anyway, because it sounds like it's going to happen at some point. Yeah. You might as well get organised, take advantage of the council cleanups.
Yep, definitely. Whatever comes this year, yeah.
I don't think that'll be happening in the new year. So, lots of things happening.
Yep, there we go. And also, I think one thing is people next year, they might go, New Year's resolution, buy a property.
Yeah.
So definitely more buyers out there.
Yeah, or sell.
Or sell. New Year's resolution, sell a property from Billy.
make a move. But spot on. I reckon good to set yourself up.
Definitely. All right, cool. That's it from us. See you next Monday.
Have a great evening.
All right, take care.
See ya.